So this is a way that we write TypeScript in the playground. Now let's going to try exactly the same example in Visual Code Studio. So we can learn different IDE and different ways to code. So if we come here, we open Visual Code Studio. In the first video of TypeScript, we create a file that is app.ts. Let's drag the entire folder. Okay, and let's open the app.ts. So let's do it here. As you can see, Visual Code Studio shows an error, and actually it's the same message as the playground. Remember, both are written by Microsoft, so you could expect a consistency, but anyway, all the errors in all IDEs should be the same. So as you can see here, we have an error while we are coding, so we can try test and we assign 1. Okay, there is another error here. We can do age, Alejandro. We have another error here. So as you can see, this IDE, it's another way to write the code. If you want to generate the final JavaScript from this, remember, from the command line, you have to point to your project and do tsc, the name of your TypeScript file. Then you execute, and that's nice. We get 3 errors. These 3 errors from the 9, 11, and 13. You can see here 9, 11, 13. So these are the errors. It's exactly the same error message. So let's fix this. We put here Ferrari. We put here 1 as a string, and the age, let's put 32, for example. We try to compile again. 0 errors. No message. So this is a nice and practical way to test our code and check quality, that every variable is holding the type that you are expecting. So this part is so powerful that we will pay attention to other options that we have to work with type. So if we come to the slide again, here we are. So in JavaScript, when you have functions, it's exactly the same. You can pass parameters, and these parameters can be of any kind of type, and even if you are expecting the name to be a string, you could pass a number, and the function or the system doesn't give you any error, right? So with TypeScript, you can have functions, and the parameters, we can define the type of the parameter, so we guarantee that the value that we receive is going to be always from this type. So let's try that. Let's define a function, for example, set name. We should receive a name. Let's do it first without TypeScript, and here console.log, this is my name, right? So here we have a function, and what's the type that we are receiving of parameter? It's any. This is the default type that TypeScript assigned to any non-specified type of data in the system. So that means that this variable could be of any type. If you want to be more redundant in your code, you could do something like this. I'm expecting any. Any, it's type that holds number, string, anything, right? So it's kind of what is doing JavaScript by default. But in this case, it's pretty clear that the name that we are expecting should be a string. So let's put here a string. Now, name, as you can see, is expected to be a string. Let's call this function set look. Visual Code Studio gives us now autocomplete of the function, and set name receive a string as a parameter and return void. That's perfect for other developers to understand our code. I'm so excited every time that I see this, because for many years I have been working with JavaScript without this cool feature like this. Okay, so set name, let's pass a number. So we see here it's red, that's a symptom that we have an error. And let's pass my name, for example, Alejandro. And now it's not in red, so we can guarantee that we have good types as a parameter. Let's pass the age as number. Okay, again we have an error. Supply parameters doesn't match the signature. That means that we are passing less parameters than the expected by the function. How many times have you done this in JavaScript, and then you try here to print console.log and you print the age, yeah, and then it's undefined because you didn't remember that you have to pass the age. So you can do something here to fix this. Let's put 31, and now it's fixed for you, and the code is nice and clean. Yeah. So this is a very cool feature for working with functions. We can specify the type. What else can we do with types? Let's see. Yes. So also, as I mentioned, we have other types. We have booleans, so we can specify, okay, this variable is going to be of type boolean, so it can hold only true and false. We explained that we have array. The array needs type, so all the values that are inside the array have the same type. And one last thing before finishing with this is that, yeah, when we see the API of this, let's do it again, set name, yeah, we can see that the type that is returned is void, right? But what if we have a getter function? Let's do function get name and return, just return something, right? My name. Okay, and now we try to use a getter, get name. Yep. Okay, so it's saying that it returns a string. Why? Because TypeScript is so smart that wow, TypeScript is so smart that it knows that once you return a value, in this case Alejandro, okay, so it means that this function returns a string, but we haven't specified that. So let's remove the return and let's try again the autocomplete. Okay, so get name, now return void. Why? Because we don't have any return, right? Okay, so again, doing the example here, if we try to use this, we see that it's a string, okay? But what happened if we want to specify the signature, not inferring the type? Then we just need to use here and put a string. So now it's saying that it should return something, yeah. So let's put the return clause here, okay? And let's try the autocomplete. See, now this is the other way to specify the type of data that a function returns. So we can specify explicitly that it returns a string, or in this case, let's see what happened. It returns void, it returns nothing from here. If we put a number, it will infer that this function returns a number. So these are all the options that we can use in TypeScript to get the advantage of telling other developers what do you expect from a function and what you should pass as a parameter in a function. Okay, so see you in the next video.